Joy Breakfast, the nation's favourite rainbow breakfast show.
This is Joy Brecky, Joy 94.9 with Brett, Tim and Nige. It is 8 o'clock and we are super excited to welcome diva extraordinaire Kate DeAraugo.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
How are we all?
We are up and at 'em, that's for sure.
Yes.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, Doug. Just doing mum life, just getting ready to head off to swimming lessons with my little one.
Oh, lovely.
2 lives I lead.
Indeed.
Kate, Tim and I saw your incredible performance of No More and Clown with Greg Gould at his album launch on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, you were effortless. Now,
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. It was beautiful. And look, in the morning, Brett and Tim and I are jumping up and down in the studio doing star jumps and just acting like idiots. So I want to know, what's your process for getting ready before a performance?
Well, it used to look a lot different to what it does now. I used to be a glass of wine and a ciggy, but I've been clean and sober for 6.5 years now, so it's certainly not that anymore. But I don't know. I do a bit of a vocal warm up. I probably, as I get older, look after my voice a little bit more and just get the vibe from the people in the band and the other people that you're performing with.
I heard that your mentor taught you to understand the lyrics in songs before you sung them. Is this still a part of your process today?
Very much so. I mean, obviously I love singing all the diva stuff and the up and about party songs. Like, they're always good fun. And you know what, those songs still have stories to them too. But one of my favourite things and my favourite styles is storytelling. And that was a big part of what Vanetta taught me is, to understand what I'm singing about and what the story is behind a song before just going in blind and singing notes for no reason, if that makes sense. So,
yes.
I really love connecting to the songs and connecting to the music, which was luckily both of the songs I was singing on Friday night I had a real connection with.
Oh, it was so beautiful to watch. Now, as queer people, we know what it's like to go through tough times, and I listened to your podcast, Why Do I Feel This Way?, about addiction and recovery, and seeing how you've managed to come through the other side. What's your advice to anyone who might be going through a similar situation at the moment?
First thing is, don't do it alone. I think so many people get themselves into painful positions or spots in their lives, and they think that it's shameful to put their hand up and say, hey, I'm in trouble, or, a fear of judgment or fear of feeling weak. But there is absolutely, it's actually, in my opinion, one of the most brave and courageous things you can do is to put your hand up and say, hey, I'm in trouble here. Whatever that might be in your life, like insert your story into that. And I think just having somebody to talk to, I'm a big believer that everybody should have a person. Everybody should have a therapist.
Yes.
The world would be a better place.
I agree.
And I just think, go and talk to somebody and find people that get you. And that was a big part of my recovery was, finding people outside of my partner, my mum, my dad, those immediate families that could understand me and I could talk to with no judgment.
It must have been quite cathartic putting together a podcast like that. Was there a particular reason you decided on a podcast as opposed to, putting it all into your music like a lot of people do? I wanted to do it. Like, people have been asking me to tell this story of my story, but I guess it was, people were interested. I was living the life I was, divas, idol, and doing all that stuff, and then I just fell off the face of the earth with some really ugly headlines, and then that was me, and I was gone. And I think people were really curious as to what happened, and I didn't want to do it in an interview where it had any chance of being skewed, and I really wanted to have control over that, and I really wanted to tell it in its entirety with sort of no room for interpretation, I guess. Right. And you're coming up with season 2.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. We're out on the 3rd of September.
Great.
Which we're really excited about. And look, what I got from the first season was the amount of people that reached out and just said, thank you so much for your vulnerability. I feel seen, I feel heard. And I just went, wow, like if my story can help that many people. So we've just got
all kinds of different people from all kinds of different walks of life, just basically talking about, you know, how they made it through their own version of adversity and struggles and found a better way to live and just to help and share hope, I guess, really.
Yeah, love that. Hey, Kate, Brett here. Look, I want to chat a little bit about the new track, No More. It covers a pretty serious topic, particularly around the deaths of those two boys in Sydney. Can you tell me a little bit about how it all came together?
Yeah, well, I was a very last-minute entrant on that one. Greg called me, I think, with like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before it was due to be released, and he said, I just needed something extra, something different on the track, and he explained to me what it was about and where it came from and the inspiration behind it, and I said 100. I mean, obviously it's an amazing track, but the message and what it stands for and the heart. I love Greg's writing. He's such an emotional writer, an emotive writer, and I just felt like such an important thing to be a part of.
Yeah, that's really, really, really great. What did you personally take away from the track?
Look, I think the world, everybody feels it in their own way. I think the world's a scary place, at the moment. There's just so much violence and aggression and crime and all of the things that are going on in the world that, doesn't seem to be getting any less.
Yeah.
And, I have had my own experience over the years with domestic violence and what that feels like. And again, to get out the other side of that, it just felt like, it felt like a project that everybody could have relate to in their own way, I guess.
That's great.
I love how, just brave sharing both musically and through your podcast as well. What was it like working with Greg? Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
Are you guys know him? He's a fabulous, fabulous human. And, I've known Greg for a little while now, and he's an incredible musician and artist, but he's also a very important and special friend in my life. He just has a heart of gold, and he wears his heart on his sleeve also. And I just want to say that I've never known anybody to work as hard or commit to anything like Greg did to that album and putting that music out there. And he deserves a big old gold star. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah,
he does indeed. We're going to have him on the show next week, so that would be.
Tell him I love him.
I will indeed. Kate, would you like to do us the honour of introducing your new track with Greg?
I would. Well, I'm Kate DeAraugo, and this is my new track with Greg Gould, Adam, and Queen Kong. It's called No More. Have a listen.